Can you see my screen? Just put it on the chat box if you can see my screen. All right, that's fine. Okay, so today we are going to look at how we can clean data in Excel. So what are the various forms of ways in which we can clean data and manipulate data in Excel? So there are different ways in which we can clean data in Excel. So I'm going to show you some of those ways. So this is a kind of, this is a fake data. So I deliberately made this data. So it's a messy data because as you can see, it's having a lot of missing variables. If you look at this place, you will see a lot of missing variables there. If you look at the address, you also see a lot of missing variables that are there as well. So first, when you come across a missing variable, you don't delete a missing variable. I'm sure that some of you might have gone to some YouTube video and they will be telling you that, yeah, when there are missing variable, delete missing variable. You can see, when I right click, you see delete missing variable. But since the time that I've been working as a data analyst, senior data scientist, you don't delete data. So the things you do with missing variables, what you do with missing variables is that what you do with missing variables is that, number one, if you are working in a company, you try to speak to the stakeholders that are involved, that there are some missing variables. Two is to check some other sources of data in that company. Check for other sources of data in that company, and that is going to enable you. That's going to enable you to be able to actually put in those things that are missing, and you can fill them in. But so let's first of all start with how do we remove duplicates? So the only thing you are allowed to remove is duplicates. So if I want to remove duplicates now, all I need to do, because part of cleaning process in data analysis in Excel is duplicate values. When you have duplicate values, then you need to remove them. So I will go to the data here, then I will click on remove duplicates. So you can see that all my columns are aligned, column A. So I will click on that my data as header. So you can see that when I click on my data as header, it showed me all the headers of my data. So when I click on OK, it's going to tell me the number of duplicate values that were removed. However, in this data, there are no duplicate values at all. There are no duplicate values in the data at all. I want to check something. Okay, you can type your questions as I'm teaching if you have any question. So there are no duplicate values at all. So that is how to remove duplicates. So now from here as well, you can sort. So let's assume that I want to sort from ascending order to descending order. So ascending order means that A to Z, and descending order means Z to A. That's Z, Y, W, X. blah, 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 like that. And ascending order is A, B, C, D. So if I want to sort by their names by ascending order, all I need to do is to click on sort, and I will click on the column in which I want to use to sort. So let's assume that I am using name to sort. So this is A to Z. Then I will click on OK. So you can see that I have sorted by the name. So if I want to sort by another column, let's assume that I want to sort by age. So I want to know from the smallest to the largest age. So you can see it here. I have from the smallest age to the largest age here. And I can also sort from largest to smallest. So all I need to do is just change it from largest to the smallest. Now I'm having NA here. I'm having NA. I'm having them here. So now let's go into if I want to replace data. So for example, now I've spoken to my stakeholders and they've told me that all the NA in this data, I should change them to a particular value. So let's assume that they've told me that, okay, all the names, all the NA in this data, I should change them to maybe 35 generally. And instead of me typing 35 on and on like that, all I need to do is to click on this, then I'm going to press Ctrl H. So Ctrl H, then I will type NA and replace it with 35. So I will now click on replace all. So you can see that it replaced it for me. So you can see it replaced all the NA for me. So, but there are still some blank values. If you can see, you see that there are some blank. So maybe I want to replace all the blanks. If I want to replace all the blanks, so all the blanks, I will leave it blank like that. Let me replace it with 40. So replace all. You can see it told me all the replacement. Now imagine that I don't know these shortcuts in Excel. What will I be doing? I will be typing them one by one till I get to 2,500. Whereas I could easily just use now. So if I check this out now, there will not be any blanks. You can see there are no blanks anymore. And I've filled in all the missing variables. Like I said, you don't delete missing variables. So if you have watched some YouTube videos that tell you that, okay, how do you deal with missing data? And they told you that, okay, delete missing variables, blah, blah, blah. In data analysis, when you are working in a company, you don't delete missing variables. You don't delete missing variables at all. You don't delete it at all. Let's continue. So now the reason why I'm teaching this before I teach other things, before I teach pivot table next week, is because when you have some missing variables in your pivot table, you need to know how to deal with them. So I've gone for an interview. What I want to teach you now, I've gone for an interview before that they've asked me, and they just gave me the Excel workbook, and they said that I should separate this name into first name and last name. That is, this name, I should separate them into first name and last name. So how do I go about that? So I will click on this, then change this to text to column. So now I'm going to leave it as delimited because it has a delimiter. The delimiter here is a space. So when I click on next, these are all the delimiters. So I have semicolon, I have comma, I have space. Now the delimiter here is a space. So I'll click on space. Then I'll click on next. So treat consecutive. Now I can click out this that I don't want consecutive delimiters as one, and I can click it in. So it depends on what I want. So do I want it to be in general or I want it to be in text? Of course, it can't be in date because it's not a date column. So text, then, okay. What I would do is, let's first of all create a space for it because it's going to replace this. Let's create a column. I don't want it to replace my email that is here. So because I don't want it to replace my email, so I have to create a column for it. Space, next. Now, of course, I can change the destination here. I can change the destination. But because I didn't change the destination, that is the destination of where I want it to split, I can change it there. So that was instead of creating a column. So then click on text, then click on finish. So as you see now, I have my first name here and my last name. And the reason why I'm having this DDX is because there are some people that they have three names. If I scroll down, there are some people that have three names. If I scroll down, I will see some of those names. So you can see MD, Summer, DDX, and the likes. So I can rename this as first name, rename this as last name. And if I don't want this, if I want this to be okay, let me call it the middle name. Then let me delete this. So first name, last name, and the middle name. So already I've been able to split those tables. I mean the column. I've been able to split it into two, which is the first name and the last name. So if you are faced with, okay, if you look at it, you will discover it has actually deleted our email address. And that was because of the column I put. It has deleted our email address. So let me add another column and do it again. I was looking for the email address. I didn't know that it has deleted it. And that was because it was 3. That was why it deleted the email address. So let's do it again. Text to column, delimited, space. No, I don't want tabs. Just space alone. General. I can put it at general. Now, so we have our email address there. So there are no issues. So first name and the last name. And we can possibly call this the middle name. Then we can delete this. Then here, so let me try to separate. Let me try to separate the this email address that we have here and use another like maybe I want to know the domain names. If I want to know the domain names of this email address, let me duplicate it here first. So if I want to know the domain names of this email address, what I mean by domain name is, for example, at gmail.com, just like we have at example.com here at robinson.com. So if I want to separate them and I want to know their domain names, so I can click on text to column, click on next. Now, so instead of having a space, I will now click on order and I will now click on at, because that is what I want it to split them. And that is the delimiter. So then I will click on next, then I will click on finish. So already I have the username of the email and I have the domain name as well. I have the domain name as well. So generally in Excel, you can remove duplicates, you can split data into, you can split those data into two. Depending on the delimiter that you want to use, you can also split them. Okay, somebody is saying, is it Control H or Control H? It's Control H, not H. I didn't say H, it's Control H. Yes, I will send the data. No, first of all, listen. If I send data before the class starts, if I send you the data before the class starts, you will not listen to the class. So it's better that you listen first, then you practice later. How do we load the data so we have the same interface? As soon as you open the data, as soon as I send you the data, when you open it, you are going to see the interface. So it's like the normal, because I'm sending you this data. So when you open it, you are going to see every interface. You are going to see the home, insert, page layout, formulas. We did some things on formulas last week where we used the sum, we used the count and the likes. So, but what we majorly used today was we use the filter. I use sort. So you are going to see data. There is, no matter the version of the Microsoft Office you are using, you are going to see data. So you can sort, you can filter, you can clear away all the filtering that I've done. If I want to clear now, I can click on clear and that will clear all the filtering I did in the first instance. Then you can, I said you can remove duplicates and you can split column into text. And I gave you examples of those delimiters. So you are going to see it there. You don't need to load it on any interface, just open it. So if we don't delete, what do we do? Yes, I've explained. Let me re-explain again. To fill in missing data, so based on experience, when I'm working on, at the moment now, where I'm the field where I'm working now, I don't deal with missing data anymore. But when I used to work as a data analyst, to fill in missing data, number one is you look for other sources in which you can find those missing data. So for example, if there are different databases in the company, so maybe you extracted that one out, and when you extracted that one out, there will be other backups. So the first thing is to actually check other sources and see if you can see those missing variables. So if you can see those missing variables there, just like I just told you now, you can just make use of Control H and fill those things in instead of filling them in manually. So it's when you have checked for other sources and you can't find them, that is when you can now speak to the stakeholders that are involved. Somebody is saying, I can't see your screen. I think you are the only one that can't see my screen. No? Everyone can see my screen. If you can see my screen, just put it on the chat box. Hello, if you can hear me and see my screen, put it on the chat box that you can see my screen. Can't we use... I'm trying to read our messages. Okay. Can't we use the split function or extract function instead of separating the names that way, sir? Yes, you can use it. There are different ways. As long as you get your answer, you can use it. It depends. You can use the split function. You can use the split function. I hope we are not missing the lookup and reference functions. It's part of the course outline. I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about. What we have three names. Yeah, it's still, you still separate them by space. If you look at what I have here, this person is, there are three names. Hang on. This person has three names to Dr. Charles Adams. And he separated them. It was separated. So it's still the same way, even if it is three ways. What is DOS? Did I mention anything on DOS? I don't know the DOS you are talking about. DOS could mean different things. It could mean different examples. You can say DOS as disk operating system. So I don't know which one you are talking about. No, it's not going to be with together. So I have used the art. I have used the art as the separator. So it's not going to be there. Just like we have used space as the separator as well. So that's why the art is not there. I always find it difficult to load data on my Excel. I've used Google Sheet to first open it and then move it to Excel. I don't know which version of Excel are you using. I think it also depends on the version of Excel that you are using. Yeah, so I don't know the person that said you can't see my screen. Yes, I've answered it now. I've answered that at the reason why it's not there is because we have used it as a separator. You can't see the spreadsheet. It's showing the names. Yes, at least, yeah, it's showing the names now because I'm reading the charts. Yeah, I'm reading your charts. So when I want to explain, I'll go back to the spreadsheet. How can I create a column header when creating a new data? You don't need to, there's nothing special in creating a column header. So if I click on this, I mean on a new sheet, all I need to do is names. There's no special, there's no special thing, and there's no special stuff in having an header. I can formulate it as so and go to table insert, then make it as a table. And I can change this background if it's too much. So already it will see it as my head, my table head. So all I need to do, if you want your header to be separate, just if I want the headers here to be separate now, I mean to be distinct rather, all I need to do is click here, insert, then I insert a table and click on my table as headers. And I can change the color of the tables if I'm not comfortable with that. So it will differentiate for me. So there's nothing special. If you want it to be special, just put it inside the table. If you want it to be special, you just put it inside the table. If you want it to be special. Yeah, I will repeat. How can I? It's just the name. It's just the name of somebody now. It's just the name of somebody. Does appear as the middle name. Yes, it's just the name of somebody. The VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, and the rest. Okay, somebody said I should talk about the missing variable again. Now, let's look at the missing variable together again. So let's assume that the last name here, I want to fill in the blanks. The first thing I'm going to do is to highlight this. So when I highlight this, then I will right click, then I will now click on. So when I highlight it, then I will now click on Control H. So the missing variable here is blank. So I will leave this blank. So I want to change it to let's say I want to change it to Daniel, all the blanks. So I've pressed Control H. So I will just press replace all, and that will replace every of the missing variable. It's going to replace every of the missing variable. That's what it's going to replace. It will replace every of the missing variable. And as you can see, it has replaced this blank that is here. So at the moment, you will not see any blank again. You can see there are no blanks again. But if I click on Daniel, so you can see the ones I replaced with Daniel is 100 and something. You can see 1899, which is the total one that was replaced. 1898 that was replaced. Yeah, VLOOKUP. So I vetoed on VLOOKUP because I felt we needed the pivot table that we are going to do next week. I felt we needed data manipulation and data cleaning than VLOOKUP. So for that we're going to do that pivot table next week. And if we, although I strongly doubt if we are going to have some time, but I will touch a bit on VLOOKUP in the last class. I will touch a bit on VLOOKUP in the last class, which is the 5th week. Is it possible to get the deleted space, including the rows? I'm not sure I understand your question. Which deleted space are you talking about? Which deleted space are you talking about? I'm not sure I understand your question. Yes, they look similar. Yes. Is cleaning data in Excel is also Power Query in Excel. Yes, they look similar. The thing is that uh, Power Query in, okay, or you wanted to say Power Query in Power BI, but there is Power Query in Excel as well. And you can use the Power Query in Excel to also clean. Now, what I meant by sources is that now there are different sources of data. So most company has different sources of data. It's not just one. So they have different, and the reason why they have different is in case one is not working, another one will work. So that's why they have different sources of data. So because you are not working in a company now, you might not understand. Could you could you run an advanced Excel class, sir? An advanced Excel class is a paid one. An advanced is a paid one. So this is not advanced. It's a paid one. All the ones that contain first middle name, all the ones that contain the first middle names. The one you that asked this last question, I'm not sure I understand you. All the ones that contain first middle names, it looks somehow to me. How can you change back what you have replaced? Yeah, you can change back what you have replaced by just pressing Ctrl Z. So here now, if I want to change back what I've replaced, I will just press Ctrl Z. So as I've pressed Ctrl Z now, it has gone back. You can see is blank already. Yes, don't worry. How do we book for your advanced class? Yes, I will communicate that immediately after the free class, after the 5th week, or towards the end. So maybe from next week, I will communicate that. We have just 5 weeks, and I can't possibly teach everything. I don't know. What if I want to rearrange those names? I'm not sure I understand what you meant by that. I'm not sure I understand what you meant by that question. That what if I want to rearrange No, for the paid class, I don't make my YouTube. I make the YouTube video private. Even those that I share it for, they can't even share it. Because they can't even share it to any other person for the paid class. I have more than I have more than 50 videos for my private class on Excel alone. I have more than 20 on Excel alone that are private. Yeah, and people that have done the advanced class, they can't share it because it's not shareable. But it's on YouTube. They will just watch it on YouTube, but they can't share it as well. No. Yeah, you have access to the free this one's. If you are watching on YouTube now, just subscribe to my channel. This one comes to my YouTube channel publicly, and people can search and they can watch it. They can watch this class. That's why even if you miss the class, you will still go back to week 1, go back to week 2. This is week 3, and study week 3 and the likes. You can still go back to all those things. So I guess there are no more questions. All right. So when I started, I talked about I talked about 3 things that we are going to do. I said number 1 is to remove duplicates, and I said this is how to remove duplicates. So when you click, you remove the duplicates. You can remove duplicates from just a column alone. So if I want to remove duplicates of last name alone now, all I need to do is to uncheck all and just click on first name. And that's the only duplicate that I want to remove. You can see that it's removed 939,344 duplicates. But of course, it's not the best practice. I just want to use it to know. So Control Z. I just want to use it to know the number of unique counts. Of course, there are some names that are going to be repeated. Then I went into how to fill in missing variables, and I said that just click on any column you want to fill it in and Control H, leave it blank and fill it with whatsoever you want to fill it with. Then click on replace all. So that is how to deal with missing number. And I said you don't delete missing number when you start working in a company. You must not delete missing number at all. Then again, I said that you can split text to column. You can split it text to column. And we use the name that was here. We splitted it first name and last name, and also the middle name as well. So it was splitted, and we have the middle name. So, and I said it has different delimiters. So here we make use of space, and when we came to the email address, we made use of the @ And for those of you that are staying in the UK, you might be given a data of this nature, and you want to separate the postcode. For example, now this looks like a postcode. So the delimiter you are going to make use of in this address is a comma. That's the delimiter you are going to make use of. You are going to make use of a comma. So when you click on this and text to data, next, so you are going to make use of a comma. Is a comma. Now you can see it has already separated the postcode for me. So I have the first line of address. In the UK, we call this the first line of address. So if I want to separate the city, so this is the city and this is the postcode. Of course, this is a fake data, so it's not well aligned. So in a situation where a data was collected, so this is the usage of it. So in a situation where, for example, the address were collected together, so the people wrote their address in the form that was given to them. So they have the first line of address, they have the city, and they have the postcode. So if you are told that, can we have just the postcode or the cities alone, then those are the usage of text to column. Those are the usage of text to column. So, and that was what we did about data cleaning. There's no how you want to do data analysis in Excel. You need to know how to clean data. It's very important. You need to know how to clean data in Excel. So what certificate are we getting for this class? It's beginner's certificate. That's if you do the project and you attend class, because I have attendance recorded. Attendance is recorded. You attend, I mean, as soon as you join, and it will tell me the number of minutes you even joined. So I'm going to give a project, and if you don't do that project, there's no certificate. It's just for beginners and to have ideas. Of course, you can build on some of the things I've taught you, even as a beginner, because they are the basics. The rest are the rest are advanced ones, and the advanced ones, the advanced ones, the advanced classes is needed to be a professional. No, you can build on the beginners that I've taught you and start working on several projects, because when you start working on several projects, you will start discovering some things yourself. You will start discover, and with a beginner, you can earn yourself if you start working maybe you get an internship. There are some things you will learn yourself. There was nobody that taught me both beginning and advanced data analysis in Excel. Nobody. I taught myself. I taught myself. There was nobody that taught me. I taught myself. I built myself in it. I didn't I didn't join any class. Of course, because I read computer science and I read data science. So those things helped me because that's my field actually. Those things actually helped me. But with that certificate, do we have to leverage, or is insignificant? No, it's not insignificant. See, there are some people that there are some companies that they don't even want somebody that they can't control. They don't want that. They want somebody that is ready to learn. And the fact that it's a beginner, that doesn't mean that it's low. No. As long as you are willing to learn and you don't want to stay at that beginner, you will become a professional in it. That's the truth. You will become a professional in it. And when you are told that to do some things, when you are told to do something that in Excel that you don't even, that's how experience comes. So even though you know that I still have what I've learned is just a basics and all those things, and maybe you get an internship. When you are given a job to do, the right thing to do is, and maybe you have not experienced it before, don't go and say, I've not done this thing before. If you are working for me and you tell me that, then I know that you are not ready to learn, because Google can teach you anything. Just type on Google and say, how do I put this into places? You will see several videos. You can even come across my video that will teach you on it. You can even come across my video that is going to teach you on it. You can come out. So it depends. So it doesn't mean at all Like I said, some companies even want somebody that just learns and that is fresh. So it depends. And let me tell you, when I started working as a data analyst, the truth of the matter is that I don't know all as well. Even at the moment, I don't know everything. It's not everything that I know. But at least I'm advanced because I've been using this for quite a number of years. But there are some things that keep coming up and coming up. So it's not every tool that I can use as well. But the truth of it, the matter is that the truth of the matter is when I'm given an opportunity, also when I got job and I was given an opportunity to work on data and I don't I don't know it, I just go to Google and just go and do it and I'll get it there. Yes, I'm going to teach you data visualization next week and analysis. That's what pivot table is all about. I'm going to teach you data visualization next week. So don't worry about that. I'm going to teach you data visualization next week. But some of the things I've taught you now will help you as a data entry officer. Some of the things I've taught you in the past 3 weeks will help you as a data entry officer. Yeah, because it's more of data entry. So when you have data entry, you will not do any data visualization at all. You won't do any data visualization. So next week, because I want to do pivot table next week. Next week, we are going to concentrate on data visualization in Excel. That's what we are going to concentrate on next week. Visualizing data. We are going to use a fake data tool, but it's going to be more solid than this. And you will be able to see how to build charts in Excel and how to build a dashboard in Excel as well. So next week, we are going to spend enough time in teaching. Of course, there will be time to ask questions as well. So thank you so much, and I will see you next week. Please log off, and some of you will still stay here till 10 p.m. and that's why you are receiving the YouTube videos late because some of you don't log off easily. Thank you so much, and I'm going to see you next week.